mint,
magenta,
gold.
sage.
No, we're just kidding. Welcome to 922 o'clock, the podcast where we're too unique to be one.
So why not create a fun, fantastic friend group? And by tuning in, you are tapping into a world of toil and trouble and some double perspective conversations about our IFE. So 922, let's get it!
Hi everybody, if you're new here, I'm Latavo.
And I'm Eulogio.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Today we're talking about the thing that's been glamorized. It's used in marketing, and we know it's used in marketing.
Oh,
Yeah, it's in marketing. It's in marketing lately. SelfCare. Dun dun
Boom.
dun.
boom.
Okay. How do you define self-care?
The self-care, spending money. I'm joking, guys. Wait, let me be serious. How do I define self-care?
Yeah.
Doing things that make me happy, that fulfill a need that I'm missing at that certain point. Right? And doing them for myself, for myself, not for like the benefit. Oh, stop. Guys, get your mind out the gutter.
That's all. Yes. For yourself, to yourself.
For myself, like I'm not doing it for someone else. Like I'm not improving that one thing or working on that one thing for someone else.
I
hear me.
So you're not building a skincare routine so you can attract a man with a clear face.
No, I want to because I
routine.
want
Because you want
face. Yeah.
I see. Anyway,
We just arrived.
5 minutes in and we are
Not even 5 minutes. How do you define it?
Okay, so self-care to me, right? Number one is a space.
Ooh.
And it's a space. Not that's fruity.
No, like, oh, purr.
It's a space within your life that you set up for yourself. Because for I don't know where I read this. I can't remember, but like you can't show up for other people the best way possible if you're not fully yourself.
Yeah.
And you're not fully aware. So self-care can be difficult in my definition. Sometimes self-care has to be difficult because self-care isn't only the solo coffee dates and
it's the internal works.
Yeah, it's the solo coffee dates while you're reading Atomic Habits. Or it's the solo coffee dates while you're reading 12 Rules for Life. Or the solo coffee dates, it's Order to Chaos. You know, the solo coffee dates, self-care is therapy. Sometimes self-care is doing the difficult thing.
Doing the work.
So that you can fully see yourself. And that's why I say they use it a lot in marketing now. Because isn't it? Buy our bubble bath for the best self-care day.
I get that.
Like, as much as taking a bath can be relaxing and healing.
Sometimes you need it.
And you need to relax. Self-care cannot be glamorized by beauty. Like all of these beauty industries and self-care is getting that new foundation, whatever. It can be, yes, but it's not all that.
I get that. I
That's
get what
kind
you
of
mean.
my thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, how do you practice self-care in your life?
Oh. For me, while surface level type of self-care is just kind of isolation, focusing on myself. Like if I know I had a really, really hectic week, just taking the space to kind of rest, order in food, prioritize rest, type of vibes. And yeah, just, I think personally in my definition, I live my self-care out every day.
Yeah, it is
like it's not as I have a self-care day. My self-care day will be quote unquote my rest day. Like when I'm resting, I'm not switching on my laptop. I'm not answering any work emails. I'm not doing any schoolwork.
Or anything you do on a daily above and beyond.
Yes. Like, okay, now I took the time out to go get an IV drip.
Yeah.
My vitamins a little type of vibe, you know. But for me, it's a daily thing. Like, my routine is part of my self-care.
Yeah.
If I'm out of routine, organized.
Yeah, you're not
type of vibe.
fully caring
Present,
for
like, I
yourself.
can't, and I also can't fully show up.
Mm.
If I messed up my routine, I woke up late, I didn't sleep good enough, whatever,
Yeah.
I can't fully show up. So for me, it's a daily thing. Hey, like, it's not a
Once in a while.
That's maintenance day. That's once a month.
Yeah.
But self-care for me, it's daily.
Every day. Yeah, fair.
On your end?
Ish.
Okay. Self-care is hard.
Self-care is hard, right? On my end, right? And I say that because I'm about to announce this like everywhere, genuinely put a lot of things before the self, right? Guys, I will leave everything if someone needs me to show up, whether I'm in a okay state or not. And I think that's obviously body people pleaser, like the habits and stuff like that I'm learning to outgrow, right? It's still a journey. But self-care is so difficult for me because showing up for myself almost seems foreign, right?
It seems selfish.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, we're only glamorizing self-care now. 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when you were saying, oh, I want to take a day to just chill and whatever, you're lazy. Why don't you have friends? Like now, self-care is, I'm taking a day for self-care, guys. My phone is off, blah, blah, blah. And it's acceptable. And in the time, I think, where my brain was going through like its journey and kind of fully stepping into itself, self-care was kind of almost demonized. Hey, not demon.
Not demonized. It was frowned upon.
Yeah, it was frowned upon as this kind of thing that you do because you're selfish. You know,
you do it because you don't want to give to other people.
Yeah, as much as you can afford to get your nails done or every month or whatever. How dare you actually do that? How dare you don't show up for some date because you want to do your nails? Just do your nails on another time. You understand? And I think those kind of societal stuff played a role. Yes, they've played a role, like I play a role in accepting those behaviors and reciprocating them. But showing up for the self for me is one of the hardest things, not because of anything else, but because I've put myself at the bottom of my hierarchy. I will show up for work, come hell or high waters. I'll be sick. My eyes won't be able to see everything. I will show up for work. I'll show up. Hey, birthday party, what, I will show up because thingy. But when I do practice self-care, for me, that's why I say my definition of self-care is in the hard work. It's in reading those books and going,
I need to check myself.
Yeah, I'm checking myself. Yeah. This book is checking me. You know, it's in reading an article about my diet and actively putting that practice into my life, right? And not
like
just
fixing the habit.
Yes, not just kind of, I'm going to go on a keto. No, that's fine. But for me, self-care is, okay, I need to be aware of what I'm eating or how certain things react to my body, how certain things don't react to my body. All of those things, it's kind of being aware of yourself.
It's a tough one, hey?
It is.
Because we're really raised to be people pleasers.
Yeah.
To put everybody's needs, especially as a woman, to put everybody's needs above your own.
Yeah.
Like, it's very easy for men to just do their own thing, bandwagon on their own. But as a woman, you tend to look at so many things before making a simple decision.
Yeah.
Like, simple decision isn't, I want those shoes. You're thinking household, mama,
who do I like? Can I actually afford to buy these things and drop someone else?
Yeah. So, self-care becomes really, really tricky. And as much as you're saying they use it in marketing or whatever, I feel like that's a start. Like, that's a start to kind of force people to kind of step out, take time towards yourself.
Okay.
Like, put time towards yourself.
That, coupled with the overconsumption culture we have right now, that's why I say it's bad for marketing, right? Because overconsumption is such a big thing. You did not need 16 different face masks. Some of them will probably cause allergic reaction. But we have overconsumption, isn't it? Oh, today I want to try this mask. And it's fine when it's those one-scented ones. But now you're buying those tub ones, right? And then you have this Like with the overconsumption culture, that's what marketing is bandwagoning on.
But I feel like it's very easy to become a hoarder of things that you don't need.
Kanjan.
Like, just collect, you know, those people that just collect a bunch of products, but you never use all of them.
Yes, because
because you want to have a bunch of products.
That's what I'm saying, consumption culture.
Yeah.
Right? We've made this thing that like, ooh. And also I think trend culture in general, right? This one drops, this one drops, this one drops. You like this one and this one and this one. Therefore you buy this one, this one, this one. They're all lipstick.
They don't do the same thing.
No, it's because that one is this brand and that one is that brand. So you can say, today I'm using, tomorrow I'm using that. But
what about those people where that's actually your paycheck?
That's different. If you're getting paid for marketing, you're a marketer.
Oh, purpose.
And you're getting PR products, you're a marketer. And if it so happens to give you something to practice self-care with, fair. But that's what I'm saying, coupled with overconsumption, it's so dangerous. Because that's what, and trend culture, right, as much as we've seen it in history and in fashion or whatever, the overconsumption of now is insane, right? And this is what fast fashion also bandwagons on.
The fact that people will continuously feed into the system.
You don't need 17 different jeans. Let me explain. Because you probably, out of the 17, only wear about
3 consecutive.
5, because you like the way they feel, you like how they look, or whatever. Then you have that jean that you bought because, oh my gosh, it looked so cool and I really, really wanted it. And someone like fast fashion made it available. So quickly, you bought it. So you bought it. Now you have it. You wear it that one time. Oh yeah, it does look really, really cool. Next time you're like, it doesn't match with this. It doesn't match with this. We're not curating stuff anymore. You're not having a curated closet. You're not having a curated makeup list or a curated bath product list. But because we're just consuming everything. Yeah, you wanna bambala. Then you have this thing. Then they expire, and where do they go? Wasteful.
Exactly. Like that's what I was about to say. Everything just becomes a waste.
Yeah,
because you have a ton of clothes you don't wear. You have a ton of products you don't use. And I don't know why we don't give things away
anymore. Nowadays, we want to sell everything.
Exactly.
But you
shop if you need the money.
The economy, but
like don't keep things don't use. And like trends are fast, Baba. This week LAE in, next week LAE in LAE in.
But that also comes
broke, I promise you.
Now self-care starts with the self, isn't it? It's that identity. So when you know your identity, self-care becomes you pouring into that identity. Not necessarily grasping for identities and different things. Yeah, like when you know
exactly. This is what I use. This is what I like.
When you know, Lord, jorts are not your thing. I'm not saying jorts are not my thing. I need a pair of jorts. But if you know that jorts are just not your thing, whatever, but then you see your favorite celebrity wearing them, right? Then you're like, now I think I'm really into jorts. You buy like 4, right? And different colors, whatever. But you know, generally, all these things don't. You put them on once, and then you're like, hi. And then you just keep the jorts there. Like, it's because your identity part is crossed on so many different parts. So self-care for me is showing up for my true version, like the true version of myself on that day.
Exactly.
Because that's what I'm saying. Version changes every single day.
Self-care day.
Yeah.
Not a one day thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm covering all the self-care I need. No. It's a daily practice and a daily habit. Like it goes into small things like what you eat, what you do. Is it better for me? Is it bad for me? Am I eating it because I like it? Or am I eating it because everybody else likes it? Type of like those small things. Do I really want to be fit? Don't I want to be fit? Sometimes you don't want to be fit and it's not
you just want to be healthy and that's okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like running. We are all running now. Not gonna lie. I'm this close to joining that bandwagon because it looks so cool.
But exactly, you're joining it because it looks cool. Not because you know, right.
But also, my partner hates running. Right? But everything in them, they hate running. right? So what they do is they'll say, I would rather go swimming because I want the fitness, but how I reach that goal can be different from everyone else. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. And yeah, so for me, self-care is showing up then as much or as little as I can
every
for
day.
myself for that day, you know. And for me, it's in the music I play, it's in reading the word, meditating on it. All of these things play a big role in fueling the identity I know and the identity I'm kind of stepping into as well.
That you want to grow
that you want to grow into. That's not necessarily based on a person, but based on values I want to be better at.
Goals, like you want to achieve as well.
Nah, definitely, because it's shaky. It's shaky. It's shaky out there today. So the first one is we've got a definition of self-care, and we're just gonna read it and talk about it, right? That's this one. Let go. It's our one first.
Snangy paper
I didn't write this week. They are printed and she still can't open them. So the problem is not me. Go.
The Global Self-Care Federation defines it as the practice of individuals looking after their own health using the knowledge and information available to them.
So that's a big part, right? That last information available to them. Because I think when you're limited in resources, right? The same way I said that self-care is like books and stuff like that. When you're limited in resources, there's certain areas you can't tap into.
Facts.
Oh, Diary of a CEO, blah, blah, blah. All of these books, if you can't afford to buy a healthy meal, there's no way you're tapping into that level of self-care.
Yeah.
And it's so
you're
important.
Just doing the best you can.
Yes, and it's so important to identify that that's okay. Like, I think what we have, right, as much as we have individualism as one,
there's a lot of it's not okay to not be
individual. It's like this spectrum that's existing all at the same time. And it makes no sense to me because we're all like, be yourself, be true to who you are.
Stand on business.
You know, you can't tell a Fruit Loop it was born to be a Cheerio, what. Like all of these stand on business stuff.
But we actually don't
when
believe
you practice that, right? And there's a level of it, right? Because as much as you're an individual is made of a community. If you read my blog, I touched on that. But
you plug in your blog.
I will link it more below. But I touched on that whole thing of like, you are some of this community. Yeah. But even in that, there's still you, right? And so what was done is kind of like, even if something in you looks different, even if your self-care looks different, other people are like, it's not self-care, right?
Because it doesn't look the way everybody else's self-care looks like.
Exactly. As much as people love hot baths with bubble baths and bath bombs and bath salts and whatever, now they make me feel lightheaded. So I'd rather take a long shower. Or something like that, something relaxing to you. But you can't be like, your self-care is not self-caring because I'm not watching Netflix with bubbles in my bath. You understand what I'm saying?
It's personal.
Yeah.
Like it's a very personal chat. And the deepest thing about it is if you're standing firm in your self-care, you don't have to convince anybody else that you're doing self-care. Like, I'm not trying to convince you that I'm doing self-care. It's my self-care.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
You know what you're doing.
I don't have to explain to you whether I'm doing self-care or not. Whether you think I'm doing it or not, you should do your own. But that's what you should do your own because you're busy focusing on mine.
You are in my business. You are in my circle.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you really need to stand firm on business, or I don't have to explain my self-care to someone else. Nobody has to understand.
I feel that.
I'm doing self-care.
I'm
doing it.
I'm doing it.
If I can't know what I'm doing, then I'm doing it.
Anyway, the Global Self-Care Federation states that it is a decision-making process that empowers individuals to look after their own health efficiently and conveniently in collaboration, right, with health or social care professionals as needed. Decision-making.
Keyword
God.
in that whole sentence, decision.
It's a choice.
It's a choice.
Self-care is a choice.
It is.
Yeah.
Because you can choose not to do self-care and kind of let yourself go. Like you can choose not to do self-care.
My sister.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Get definition in decision.
Me.
For you to make a decision, you need to have a choice. Or else you're not making a decision. You need to have that choice.
Yeah.
For,
There has to be options.
I'm making the choice.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So if you're choosing not to do it and letting yourself go, then that's your decision.
Yeah.
I'm choosing not to point to myself.
And the consequences of that
you must be able to accept it.
Yeah, well, not only for yourself, but for the people around you as
Exactly.
well. Yeah. Yeah, I see that.
Hey, it's a big.
Damn.
It's personal, though.
It's very heavy this week.
But I'm personal.
How deep is this week? No, but I genuinely, I get what you're saying. But I feel like, right? And this is what kind of weirded out my people pleaser mindset, right? Making the decision, right, to care for yourself is realizing that the best version of you can finally show up for the people you're trying to please.
Exactly.
Because now what you're trying to please them is with a cup of
mediocre
and that mediocre stuff. So therefore, people aren't being able to fully experience
you as a person can offer. Yeah.
Because, not gonna lie, they're not saying whatever when they're saying like you can't give from an empty cup. You just
they want like,
what are you pouring?
Like what are you
pouring into other people? Because it's air, and air takes space. And when air takes space, do you know how dangerous air is? As much as we inhale it and it's great and whatever.
Don't talk about a drip.
No, but I'm saying if you get an air bubble in your vein, you're gone. You are gone. So why not you want to be that air bubble in someone else's life? Because you can't feed into yourself. But now that instead what you're doing is you're a bubble. You're pouring your air. It's so dangerous. Not only to yourself to get to that point, but for the people around you that you're so cool. Like you're claiming your help. You're claiming you're trying to pour into.
Claiming?
You're not doing it. You're not. You're more so as dangerous. And it's a tiny air bubble. I'm not talking to balloon. Stop it. A tiny air bubble. Even your doctors, they know. That's why they tap the needle like this. Because they can't be air in there. And when you want to be air in someone else's life, it just doesn't work.
It does not.
It does not
like
work.
It's such I will repeat this so many times in this episode. Self-care is personal. Extremely personal. Doesn't need to make sense to nobody else.
But you also got to be able to see yourself. You've got to be honest with yourself. I'm not caring about myself.
Exactly.
This is a dangerous habit. This is all of these. And if you can live with your dangerous habits,
it doesn't do anything.
Go ahead. If it makes you happy, go ahead. Because whatever. But you've got to be so honest with yourself. And that's the problem.
Honest, like not painfully honest.
No one is brutally honest
with themselves. Like you got to tell yourself, dog, you're a shitty communicator. You're eating nonsense. You're getting fat. Do better.
Yeah.
But if you want to do better, it's a big if.
They said decision.
If you're ready, it's a big
if. It's got to be a choice. But to make that choice and have the options, you've got to see yourself for where you're at.
Exactly.
And I think what we've done is rather prioritize our goals or prioritize our what's that? I'll be happy when I get this. I'll be happy when I get this. I'll be happy when I get this. And stop prioritizing the steps that it takes.
Now.
The steps that you're in now and the steps that it takes to get to the thing you need. There's no point to be like, I'll be happy when I get a house, when you can barely clean your apartment or you can't clean your little flat. Your house, you're not young. I said, I stress. You're masogis. You're gonna in. So you need to start with where you're at now.
There's a quote I once read, and this man was like, "Can I pull up my phone?"
Yeah, go ahead. Is it quick?
Yeah, very quick. But it was something along the lines like, if you determine your happiness at the most mediocre level of your life, you will stay at that level. Like you'll never think you are happy, you're getting better, your happiness at your extreme level or whatever, you will keep thingy.
You'll keep at that level.
You will keep at that level. Like, it doesn't matter what you're choosing to grow or whatever. We're talking about I'll be happy when I get there.
Yeah.
If self-hate is the fuel that you use to better yourself, you're still going to hate yourself when you get there. Like, you can't use I hate myself to fix a habit. You're still gonna hate yourself when you get to that destination because you failed to love yourself with your flaws. So it's not me, it's a quote. I took it off a video. Yay. Kuningi. Bro, literally, self-hate is the fuel you use to better yourself. You're still gonna hate yourself when you get to the destination.
That's why, like, your personal trainers, they'll ask you, why do you want to lose weight? Right? Or whatever. And if you're like, no, like, I'm not happy, or blah, 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 and it's fine. But when you get there, you've also got to do the psychological work that comes with it. Or else you just form disordered patterns. But damn,
unhealthy habits. Literally, I was like, because you failed to love yourself at the lowest. So what makes you think if you fail to love yourself now, you have a house, you have a car, you have a what, you're going to love yourself? No, but it's not all. No,
damn.
It's not like those things are going to make you love yourself. They might make your life comfortable, sure. I mean, I got a house, it
doesn't do the deep work.
It doesn't do the deep work.
Yeah.
And it won't remove any pressure of if I had a house, if I had a what. Because when you get there, remember when you reach a certain goal, you start more goals.
There's no, success is a journey, isn't it? It's not a destination.
There's no full stop code. Okay, I have X, Y, and Z, so I'm done achieving.
Now I can
focus on loving myself. Just keep wanting to do better and do better. Spicy. It's not spicy though.
It's true. It is true. Self-care is work.
Exactly.
It's work. It's not the I'm being lazy type day.
Kinda gezi every day.
And it's fine, guys.
Unless you don't have water.
Dermatologically, apparently, you're not supposed to shower every day. But
how?
No, but look at that. You finished the but what I'm saying is self-care is an active work.
It's a verb. It should be a verb. Like, it should definitely be a verb.
Damn,
I'm on fire.
Guys, she's dropping some bars today. Like, those fire emojis in the comments must be going like this. Cause wow. Yes, she's Sana.
No, but it's a verb.
It is a verb.
It should be a verb.
It's a practice. Yeah.
Sheen.
Anyway, the same Global Federation of Self-Care defines, kind of give points of what self-care is and what it can look like. So we're going to talk about those in each one and how they affect us and also how we feel about them in a not global, but in a societal sense.
Making responsible use of prescription and
Papa. I didn't finish this
and non-prescription medicines. Responsible use.
But also non-prescription medicines, right? They're
very easy to get hooked on.
Yeah.
Like, you can start drinking one Panadol jiggy when on the headache every day.
Headache. But it's that kind of practice and seeing yourself and being aware of your habits.
I'm not using this response.
Yes,
I'm no longer using this for what its intended use is.
Now one Panadol doesn't work. You need to drink 5. You see? And this is why, right? That's why, like, I think having access to medication is so important because sometimes you're not looking for prescription drugs. But I understand why at a certain schedule, they start becoming prescription. And if you pinda your prescription too much, they'll be like, when
can you go consult your doctor?
NA. It's NA. You and NA are going to be like this. Because I think also we're so fast, right? And I'll repeatedly say this. We're so fast that we don't have time to stop and think about our habits.
Exactly.
If you have a headache, I had this teacher, right? This lecturer, his name is Alistair Ulachen.
His name is
Right? Yeah, he was my lecturer. He was my lecturer.
word name dropping.
Sorry, but this one I've got to give credit where credit is due, right? He's like, if you have a headache every day, stop trying to solve the headache every day. Look back at what things could have caused the consistent headache. If you have muscle spasm every day, when every day busy got the ice, busy got the muscle take. No, are you consuming enough salt?
Are you injured?
Do you have a long-term injury that you've not been, like, it's more, is it osteo? No, what is it? But it's who's that? It's not a
An osteoporosis.
no.
Isn't that like a disease?
That's a disorder. That's a bone what. But it's being aware of yourself so much that you're able to backtrack and pinpoint certain things. If you're having a headache every day, number one, that's not normal. You shouldn't be going, I'll quickly pop, plus ibuprofen, like fast. No, if you're having a headache every day, you should probably be concerned. If you're having a headache every day, Marawena, first thing in the morning, Red Bull. By the time it hits 6 there, you have caffeine withdrawals. Then you have a headache. And now when I every day got 6 kanda, not because of kanda, but because you have caffeine withdrawals. Then you have to understand that I have a caffeine addiction that I have to maintain. So therefore, at 6, I'll drink some green tea because it's still caffeinated. Like, you have to fully see yourself to be able to do these things. And it was a mind blow, right? Because he was like, you guys come to class and you're going to be working and stuff. And then when every day my back hurts.
You must actually look into
But no,
why
go
your back
ask yourself, why is your back hurting? Are you not stretching properly? If you're not, what can you do to improve your stretching? If you broke your tailbone, go back and be like, hey, this thing is still causing me pain. Because you have to do what you need to do, you have to fully see yourself.
Fact.
And for me, that was like a mind blow. Like, yeah, I have a headache every day. Number one, why are you drinking one glass of water? Why? Oh, I don't like the taste of water. Well then, headache every day.
I drink sparkling water. Just drinking carbon dioxide.
But that type of stuff that like you proper have to
clock yourself.
You have to clock yourself, and you also have to clock your habits.
Fact.
Like, it's either you're going to feed the beast or get rid of the beast if you can't maintain it. And let's say you're a smoker, right? And narcotics are your thing, and you know you need to smoke every 2 hours. My brother, my sister, schedule it in. Or else, on 2 hours, 30 minutes, or tomorrow late. And then you're like, I'm going to sebenza. Hey, ganjani, kepeto ikanda. Hey, what? Because when every day, you can't.
It's a habit.
It's a habit. So if you're going to feed your beasts, make sure you keep feeding them, or else they're going to do exactly what a lion is going to do.
It's going to chow you back.
Tell you when you forget to feed it.
That is a heck.
So self-care is being aware of those habits.
As well.
And being aware of like, okay, this is what I'm using, this is what I'm not using, blah, 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 blah.
It's your turn.
It's my turn to draw something. Self-management. Self-care involves self-management.
Clocking yourself.
Clock yourself.
Having discipline.
But discipline is a big one.
Having discipline is self-management. You can't manage something if you're not disciplined with it. Can't manage money if you lack discipline. I was going to say something, but
when I very 28, you broke. You
lack money, financial management. So if you're not disciplined, you can't manage anything.
True.
So your self-care needs to come at a form of like discipline.
Yeah.
And maintaining
your discipline.
Like you can't be disciplined for a week and it's an achievement.
But you know what?
For a week, discipline one.
The problem is
the goal. What is the goal? Like, I don't want to eat chocolate for this whole week.
Yeah. But what's this? There's this quote that goes like, you've got to do discipline until discipline doesn't feel like a job anymore.
It's a habit.
Showing up now is a habit. When you don't have that thing because you've been so disciplined with it, you kind of, it feels like something's missing.
Mm.
Right? Like those people, those 28-day gym challenges don't end after 28 days. It's strategic because it takes 28 days to form a habit. By the time you get to day 29,
now it's a habit.
if you're not gymming, something feels like it's missing.
Exactly.
So all of these things, it's like you've got to do discipline until it stops feeling like work. And then it's going to feel like something's missing. And once you go past that point, you can actually start enjoying it.
So, big point, stay disciplined.
Yeah.
Like if you set your mind to do something,
Go for it.
go for it.
Put in the work.
Remove distractions. Yo.
Mara magwenya fruit chomi.
Mara. O ka se re o nyaka go ba discipline. Let's use something simple, dog. A diet. A diet. You're maintaining a diet. Then you are consistently going to the one restaurant that serves your favorite food and you want to get an order a salad. You're not going to order that salad because firstly, you're putting yourself in the space.
Compromised position, yeah.
When you haven't worked on your discipline enough to maintain it, I'm not going to budge. Ooh. You know, after a certain, like, 3 months or whatever, you're not going to budge. You can put yourself in those situations.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when you get out of rehab, they tell you to not go back to the same friend you used to have because you're basically not ready mentally to be tempted and face your temptation and overcome it. After 3 months, that's when you can start being like, okay, let me see if I can go. Also, if you feel like it's too much, get out. Like, it's okay to get out of space because it's tempting you. You get what I mean?
Woo!
It's okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't want to eat chocolate. There's always chocolate at your house.
You don't come to
visiting you because for no banana chocolate there. So much discipline gone.
Yeah. Plus all, and then it's a ripple effect. Mara Musa ate that
I ate one,
so why not? But that, yeah. But yeah, jama gwenya before gym. It's fine.
I conile Anyway, making healthy lifestyle choices. Lifestyle.
Yeah, nah. That one is so, that's why when people like, that one so, like, it resonates a lot with me. Because when people come to me, they're like, oh, whatever about your body, what do you use to lose weight? And I'll tell you, are you trying to make a lifestyle change or are you trying to lose weight? Because you can lose weight. It's lose weight you can do. Maintaining the weight off is completely different. And for me, it's because I'd rather make a lifestyle change. So something that I can do on every day that's sustainable. Can you diet? Yeah, I need red, yellow, green. No, but what I'm saying is you can do the green part, right? And you see the effects. But because nutritionally, you need the reds and the what-whats. That's why they come back and they start reintroducing them. Because what you need is not eat this. What you need is, okay, I need to eat this, but I can eat this in moderation. Yes, I can eat this excessively. What I want my plate to look like. I need to practice portion control. I need to practice self-control.
Self-discipline. Discipline. It's a mental game, that thing. More than anything, it's a mental game before it's a physical one.
Yeah.
Because if you tell yourself you're going to fail at a diet, trust and believe a week is too much. You're going to fail within the first 4 days.
When the excitement is done.
I'm on a diet, I'm eating salads, I'm drinking my water. You're going to cave.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, but this one actually ricochets right off of that. Self-care involves avoiding unhealthy lifestyle habits.
What's an unhealthy lifestyle habit?
I think if you can't take the reins of it, it's unhealthy.
So like anything you can't let go.
Yeah. What's this? They always say like, the reason why drunk driving is so unsafe is because you've got no control over
the steering wheel.
Not even the steering wheel, the speed. When I get adrenaline, you can't control the speed. If you can't control the speed, when the wheel turns or you hit something,
you can't. You let go.
Right. So my thing is, it's unhealthy if I can't keep the reins on it. If I can't be able to keep. Yeah, there's a cab coming. If I can't hold the rails, it's unhealthy for me. So I avoid it.
Yo, that is hectic.
Which is why we have an episode coming up about substance and stuff like that.
I'm not
Probably
ready.
next week or whatever.
I'm not
But when
ready.
like stuff like that, if you can't keep the reins on your substance, it's unhealthy. If you was going to be our last question, right? But even with things like shopping, right? And no, it's a bit of self-care. It's a bit of self-care. Every day, you can't keep the rails on it. You now can't pay rent
because
you have 16 new outfits. Like,
oh, damn.
Wow, we said call out people episode, call out ourselves episode. Some of this is resonating in here, guys. It's not just you. It's resonating in here.
Yeah. That is hectic. And I think you really explained it properly, Shame. Like, if you can't take control of it, then definitely it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
You can't maintain it, it's unhealthy.
Yeah.
Can't finance it, it's unhealthy. Our finance is a big one.
Got John Chafunia, how can I finance?
Already. As a self-care, you're endangering yourself.
Then you go party there.
Imagine for a phone.
It's not a phone, it's for the habit in your head. But yeah, if it's leading you outside of your character.
Exactly. And outside of your morals.
Yeah, it's unhealthy.
Considering you have.
Anyway, let's have a pick the next thing because wow! Kuningi.
I'm being honest, it's considering you have.
Yeah. And you're not a sociopath.
Self-monitoring. Checking yourself.
True. Checking yourself is so important.
Checking yourself. And
checking
in on yourself.
Ooh, that's also very important. But for me, right, when you're talking about checking yourself doesn't necessarily mean being critical of yourself. For me, it's recognizing that this is what I want, let's say. This is where I'm at. These are the goals I need to be. If your goal is to drink 2 liters of water every day, and that day you drink 1.5 because you were super busy or whatever, giving yourself also that room of grace to be like, yeah, I was super busy. But you've also got to check if you're justifying
bad behaviors.
Rubbish. Because now, like tomorrow,
it's very
easy. Super busy.
Yeah, very easy to justify it.
Netflix series is super busy. You can't drink water.
Exactly.
You understand? Like, you've got to be, you've got to be so aware of yourself. And I think in society, we don't give room for that because it's selfish. Or
exactly.
Or it's vanity or whatever. But it's a thin line, right? It's the same as confidence and arrogance. You're dancing on this.
You're in between.
You're dancing on this double-edged sword. But for me, it's like being aware that, like, okay, today I need grace. But it's not every day that you need grace. Sometimes
you're just like, doing, like,
wake up.
Get yourself out of bed.
Yeah.
Go fulfill your task.
Yeah.
Go do, don't justify.
Yeah.
But, oh no, I'm having a bad day. Every day is not a bad day. Get out of bed.
But it's also, you've got to change your mindset on certain things.
Exactly. Like, it's a mental game.
Exactly. You woke up not feeling good. Cool. It's a bad couple of hours. And those bad couple of hours can ricochet, but a bad day is not a bad life.
Exactly.
And a bad situation is not your definition.
Like, a bad hour is not a bad 24 hours.
Exactly.
Like, you know how that one thing irritates you in the morning, the iron burnt your shirt. Next thing you're mad at everybody the whole day.
Shouting at us at work, we are stay lela. Like, there's this ricochet. And now you do all of that, right? You get back home. You're like, oh man, I was kind of a mean person today. Then tomorrow you must go to those exact same people
and apologize.
Yeah, I'm so sorry for my behavior. You come back with your tail in between your legs. And some people just don't tolerate that. Some people will be like, Faye, when you have a bad day, don't come close to me. And then you've got no one to lean on because you've got burning bridges.
When you have a bad day, you need to clock that you're having a bad day.
Yeah, and communicate.
Well, yo, guys, today I'm having a tough one. I'm not going to be around.
Yeah.
Yo, today I'm having a tough one. Emotionally, I get that. Like, the vibes wise, I get that. Like, I'm just having a bad day, you know? So that you don't show up. You know what I also do? Like, you show up to a space knowing very well that you're not okay, you're having a bad, then you shit on everybody else. Like, you're just You ruin the mood.
Yeah.
You want to go home.
But self-care is recognizing that you're having a bad day and it's
Let
okay
me
to
stay
exclude
home.
yourself from certain spaces.
Let me stay home so that they can enjoy their
Yeah, but
experience.
water for that 2 minutes. Ule water, asatla.
Exactly.
It's fine. Anyway, he's not here. Let's go.
Exactly. Now you ruin everybody's experience because when you met at the world, you had a bad day.
It's a lot.
Rena re sa eat.
Wena.
Re no makala re orderang dijo o te kwatisa or dijo tsa mo restaurant nga di monate. It's things like that. But like, just stay home. At the end of the day, everybody else is gonna wish you stayed home. They're gonna be like, yo, wish you didn't come. They're gonna wish you stayed home though. They're gonna wish utletseng o.
Yo.
Kane ka tjeno ne di ntshang.
Yo. Hey.
I'm being honest. Everybody else is gonna wish you stayed home
And
when
then
you
you're
could
going
have
to
just taken that responsibility.
There on the side.
And then you're gonna feel
Feel
bad
excluded.
because someone is gonna be like, look, Choni, they were saying you should have stayed home. Huh? Why? Stay home. You're not fine. Stay home. Nobody's gonna shoot you in the foot for staying home because you're having a bad day.
And also you'll appreciate it yourself.
Yeah.
Because now you're not having to build bridges that you've burned
because you were
You're
mad.
going like, okay, nah, it's just no date. This is a deep episode. That better be the last one. Yeah. Whoa. Self-care involves self-recognition of symptoms. And we're not talking
just physical symptoms, but
if
like
you're recognizing
mental
symptoms of mental health disorders, substance abuse,
unhealthy
eating, disordered eating. If you're recognizing those symptoms, get the help.
The first step to getting help is acceptance. Accept that you need help.
Yeah. Then you're able to receive
because
denial
is such a big thing.
Yeah.
You can't help someone who's in denial. You can't improve someone who's in denial. You yourself, firstly, if you're in denial, you're not fixing anything.
Yeah.
Everybody's just walking around
and
being
everybody's
like,
telling you and you're like, Lebona.
They
talk too much.
They don't like
They
it's
don't
not
like
that
this.
They don't like
They
you.
don't have this.
You're in denial.
You start pulling the weirdest habits.
Excuses.
I have 10 toes. Okay.
What? There is no way, bro. Like, there is no way.
Yeah.
You really need to clock yourself.
Yeah. And get the help you need. And
if you need help, like if you feel, sometimes you can try recover something on your own and then it fails miserably.
Yeah.
Like it fails, you can't do it and you can need help.
Yeah.
It's okay to go search for that help. Right? Like whatever help you think you need at the time or whatever. It's okay to search for it. Because if you don't search for it, you try it on your own, you failed. It's okay.
It's okay.
Like you failed.
We have like grace, this grace thing and giving each other grace. Yeah.
And giving each other grace if they've created this space. But it's very, like, it's okay. Though you flopped. You suck at communication. Go to therapy. Why do you suck at communication? Go fix that. You tried to text your friend every hour. And then you backtrack back to your old habits. You got back into your comfort zone. Then try and figure out why that's your chat. Like, why that's your thing. Why do you feel like you can't do that thing or you can't correct that thing? Because I also have habits I feel like I can't correct. Yeah. And if I'm ready to confront them, you go and you look at things like, why do I feel like I'm not ready?
Like once you know the why,
you can
sometimes it's almost just so much like you understand
it's easier to deal with the how it's manifesting.
Yeah, because now you can fully recognize all of it. Because you
like you start trusting yourself with, okay, that's not that, that's this.
Yeah.
That's I'm being If you're not honest with yourself, then shame my daddy. Self-care is not real for you. Like it's not real. It's a myth.
Yeah? Anyway.
It's a myth.
Closing question. When is it self-care and when is it vanity?
Define vanity.
So vanity, I had the definition. Hold on. I have the definition. And this is the, what's this? Oxford definition.
Tsuko has a dictionary on her phone. An app.
The album.
And what is it? The source.
Yes, I have a thesaurus and I have a dictionary on my phone. I'm a writer. Okay. So vanity is defined as the excessive pride or admiration of one's own appearance.
Like
an inflated
appearance.
pride in oneself or appearance. That's why I said self-care, marketing, appearance.
Keyword in vanity is appearance. So you are more focused for me on the outer than the inner. Like you're not fixing anything except what everyone can see. Like you're fixing surface level stuff. You're fixing things like your skin, your body.
You're not fixing the insecure part.
Yes,
of you that's insecure about your skin.
Exactly. And also, you're fixing it for other people. That's what other people see. Like, do you realize you can't see your own body unless you look in the mirror?
Yo, the top about being the man.
You can't see your own body unless you actively want to see it. So you're not fixing it because it makes you uncomfortable. You don't see it half the time. Majority of the time, you don't see it. You may stand in the mirror when you're getting dressed. When you're passing the mirror, you stand in the mirror. That's when you get into it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm fixing it for your consumption, not for my own.
Yeah.
If you're fixing it for your own because it bugs you, like it literally bugs you within yourself, it's something you hyperfixate on and stuff, then you're fixing it for you. You're not fixing it for other people. The moment you start fixing things for someone else's eyes, then
it's
vanity. It's not self-care.
See them. See. I've got nothing to add on that. I fully agree with what you're saying. Like if I say anything, it would be just like repetition. So damn.
Shame.
Damn. Yeah. And you, with that, right, with learning definitions of things, you realize that some of your habits are vain.
Exactly. You're doing it for other people, not because you actually want to do it.
And when you recognize that some of your habits are vain, you can try uproot them and reroute them in something else.
Yeah.
The habit can manifest itself differently.
Yeah, it can show up differently.
Exactly. Rather than like, if let's say you really like your face or whatever, or you're insecure about it because people have teased you, right? And you're like, I want to fix this insecurity. But you start by loving this face so that you can love it better when it's there.
You hate yourself now, you're going to hate yourself when you get there. Gyafana. If you can't love your bumpy skin, like if it makes you extremely insecure,
then
getting clear skin. No, sharp. Maybe getting clear skin may make you fall in love with yourself.
But then one pimple will unravel all that
entire thing.
That balance.
Or if your skin gets bad again, now you're back to square one.
Yeah, you start feeling like a nobody again.
Damn.
I don't even know.
That was hectic.
That was a hectic one, but I think it was necessary. I think even for myself,
go clock yourself.
It was so necessary to be like, yes, time to start. That
it's time to stop clocking yourself.
It's time to fully step into your own awareness and to start seeing yourself, not only for that I'm a kind person. I have this
deeper than that, like
on Instagram, but
I'm a horrible communicator. I'm not a trustworthy person.
Sometimes
I'm not dependable.
Sometimes I can't show up. Like all of these things, you gotta start seeing yourself for them as well.
And all of that requires isolation. You can't focus on yourself in a crowd. Like, what are you doing?
So if silence makes you uncomfortable, stop thinking what are your thoughts when it's silent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why I can't sleep at night there.
Unahane. Oh no, when two people are silent in a room, it makes me uncomfortable. Why, my love? Because that silence can be such a soft space as well.
He's him.
Anyway, we will see you next week on 922 o'clock.
It won't be as spicy, hopefully.
It might be worse, it might be better, but thank you for tuning in to this deep and insightful conversation.
Yeah, this one deep.
But anyway, make sure you click that subscribe button, click that notification bell, click that like button as well. And like, leave us your thoughts and your comments.
Comments.
Let's have this lively discuss.
See you next week. Bye.